Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mortgage Leadership Outlook. So excited to have you on today's show. So listen, we've been having some amazing guests, some really, really powerful speakers that have been joining us, industry leaders, like some of the biggest names of the industry. And today is just kind of, there's definitely no shortage of that here. So I want to actually just go into a little history here before I bring our guest, Matt Ishbia. And I'm going to share a little history with you. So back in 2009, we did this where Matt was made the Mortgage Professional of the Month. And what's amazing about actually this article, so read the article. As a matter of fact, I'll show the link up here so you can see that article. But if you go back actually and read that article, basically everything that Matt was saying now, he's still saying today. The only difference actually that you'll find actually is that instead of back then it was I think and I feel that the mortgage broker is the best option for the borrowers, whereas today it's with great certainty. There's no question about it. So check that out. The link is up there. You could also see. I even actually shared the latest article that we did back in 2018 and 2019 November. You could see the Mortgage Professional of the Month interview that we did with Matt Ishbia. So please check that out. That's right here. I'll share the link. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring our guest here, Matt. Let me unmute you here.
How are you guys? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Andrew.
Hey, good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us, taking the time out of your busy, insane days, as I can imagine actually things are these days for you guys. But listen, so and by the way, if you're joining us now, please let us know if you've ever done actually a loan with UWM. Please, hit the comments that, hashtag UWM. I figure that's an easy way to get people to interact because pretty much almost every broker out there has done a UWM loan. And we already have some of your fan bases already coming into here, saying hi to you, saying hello to you. So listen, we're going to start this off. I'm not Andrew Berman. I'm Mark Calabria. So what are you telling me? Tell me actually, you're sitting down actually face-to-face, social distancing, obviously, but you're face-to-face with Mark Calabria. What's the conversation that you're going to have with him?
Well, Mark Calabria, I think he's trying to do the right thing. And just like I think everyone in those positions, it's really easy to judge people and say, I wish Mark Calabria would do X. I wish the CEO of Fannie Mae would do Y. I wish, the Fed would do Z, Trump would do A. Listen, my perspective is simple. He's doing his best to try to help not just mortgage lenders, but everybody. And he's overseeing Fannie and Freddie. And so what would I tell him? I would tell him, keep up the great work, continue to listen to people that are out there that are doing the jobs and that are in the weeds. And I think he does that. I think he's a great leader. I think he's doing good things. And so I'm excited about the conversation with him if I had one, but I don't have a conversation with him today. But I think he's doing good things. And I think, it's a lot of stress right now, a lot of things going on in the industry, and people don't understand things that he's got to oversee Fannie and Freddie and all those details. And so what I would be telling him is to keep doing what you're doing, keep up the positivity, and keep thinking about talking to the people that are actually in the weeds making decisions, like mortgage brokers, like lenders like ourselves, because we are on the front lines trying to serve consumers across America.
Great. That's a great message. I appreciate you sharing that with us and giving it that. So listen, you are someone who's loved the mortgage broker for so long, and you've never wavered from that path. It's always been mortgage broker, always actually been such a focus of your actually efforts with which, and just think about this, in 2009, that was a very unpopular opinion. In 2009, to say actually only mortgage brokers and to say actually mortgage brokers are the greatest, that was a very, very tough opinion. So talk to us. Why do you think, the situation that we're in because of COVID-19 and what we're dealing with, because of actually the forbearance mess, all the situations that we're in right now, what makes the mortgage broker and even actually a more valuable proposition to the marketplace these days?
Yeah, well, there's two parts. So, yes, I'm all in on brokers, and I've always been all in on brokers, and that's who we are here at UWM, and I'm proud of that. And the reality is this. the best place for a consumer to get a mortgage is through an independent mortgage broker. Not because I want them to send it to UWM, because they have options with many lenders. That's why brokers are better. And then the other thing is it's better for a loan officer to work in a mortgage broker shop because they have options. They have lenders like UWM. They have lenders like, there's other great lenders. There's Caliber, there's Home Point. There's a lot of great lenders out there that do great things in wholesale for brokers. And there's so many more. PRMG, I can go through all the Cardinal. There's so many great lenders. And options always wins. And so that's the thing about being a broker. And so you know what right now is shown? COVID-19, the pandemic we just went in, you know what it does? It just made being a broker for a loan officer 10 times more valuable. And the why is this, because every lender, including UWM, including every one of my competitors, has tightened something, changed an overlay, changed the price, changed a guideline. Guess what? If you're in retail and you don't like a change that the retail company made, you know what you do? You deal with it or you quit. You got no choice. If you don't like something I did, you know what you do? You send it to the other company. You don't like it they did, you send it to me, right? That's okay. That's what being a broker is. And then on top of that, so I'll double down. Besides, it's the best place for a loan officer without question. And I think it's really, if you wanted to debate it with me 6 months ago, I don't think you would have won that debate, but I don't now more than ever, everybody's feeling it. Everyone's got overlays. Everyone's got some restrictions, but guess what? Brokers have options to do all the loans they used to do. Maybe non-QM's got away, but really there's some non-QM lenders out there even for brokers. But the big thing here is this, consumers as well. I just did another interview with, I've talked to a lot of major national press recently, and I'm telling them the truth, which is I used to tell you this, and it's always better to go to a broker because you get a better rate, you have options. But guess what? Now more than ever, when lenders are going out and saying, hey, my minimum FICO score is 680, or hey, I don't do a loan if a DTI is over 40. Hey, I don't do any government loans. I don't do cash out refinances. Like all these things are happening. Guess what? A broker has, oh, okay, I don't send that to those guys because they have, like the broker can get the consumer the loan. So the likelihood of finding a loan for the borrower has never been better than at a mortgage broker compared to a retail lender. And so I'm all in on broker. If I was all in before, and you know that about me, Andrew, yeah. I can't be more all in than I am today. And I'm proud to be part of the team with the brokers and proud to be one of the lenders out there.
That's awesome, and I think the broker team is really proud to have you as one of actually the leaders actually that's just been inspiring the continued growth of the broker space. I mean, there's so many things that you've done actually for the mortgage broker. It's just amazing. So. And I love actually how I watched actually your interview with Anthony on the AIM platform. I came right out and said, hey, listen, so when are we getting back to normal? I want to actually talk a little bit about that and talk a little bit about, so what are some of the changes that UWM had to make? And do you see any other potential changes coming down the pike?
Yeah, so UWM has made a lot of changes. A lot of lenders made a lot of changes. And when you're the biggest lender out there in wholesale, you got to be a leader sometimes, and you make changes quickly and efficiently. And so things that are really out there, and we all know this is not, maybe when we made the change before, people didn't understand it, but the reality is job loss is still unbelievable right now. And so the big changes we've made is, hey, verification of employment. I'm double checking that you're actually working the day of closing, which if any human being in America questions that, I don't think that they would, because I wouldn't lend $300,000 to someone that just lost their job a week ago. And it's also not putting them in the right position. So we've done some things like that to make sure that we're lending to the right people and not putting borrowers in bad situations. And that's what it's about. And so that's one big change. There's been some other guidelines, some tightening on things. Jumbo loans are less relevant right now because it's hard to do those loans in these markets. And so there's been a lot of changes and those types of things. But UWM also pricing, people, if pricing right now, someone said, oh, pricing is not as good as it should be. Well, let's be real. Last April, rates were like 4.25, 4 3/8. This April, they're like 3.25, 3 3/8. Right? Rates are great. Now, should they be lower? Yes, they should be. But because of the uncertainty in the unstable market about job loss, about MSR values, about forbearance, right now, lenders like ourselves are not putting the best price out there that it could be. And that's what's really great. So you say, well, why is that great, Matt? It's because the next 6 months, the third quarter and fourth quarter, and maybe even the first quarter next year, could be the best 6 to 12 months in mortgage history, right? The opportunity is going to be there because people are going to get their jobs back. People are going to go back to work, and rates are going to be low. And this pent-up demand on purchase, because no one's selling houses right now because no one's looking in houses and real estate. So great. That's going to come in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. It's going to be delayed. Opportunity is there. And so, yeah, we made a couple changes, and I think things get back to normal probably a lot sooner than other people think, because I'm very optimistic. But let's say it takes July or August. I think it might be as soon as 3 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. But it's coming. And then when it comes, it's going to come big for brokers.
Yeah, I 100% agree. No question about it. So listen, Matt, everything actually, you are always so positive. And that positive mental attitude has done so much for you. There's no question about it. Reason why actually, UWM is number one by so much. Reason why actually, you've inspired so many brokers, to become actually their own business owner and start their own mortgage brokerage. So there's no question about it. Your positivity is just infectious, and I love it. But
thank you,
Matt, there's got to be something actually that in this environment that you are worried about. I mean, because you can't be actually that it's everything is all, with rose-colored glasses. What is actually one area that you actually are slightly worried or concerned about?
It's tough. It's tough to think about it. I don't see any downsides right now. I see the downsides that I'm looking at right now is about forbearance and how that educating consumers, not because we don't want people to take it. We want people to know what they're getting into. And so I don't see any downsides right now. I see that the only downside I can see right now, and if people said, what's the negative thing going around? I say the negative thing is that April and May aren't going to be as good as we hope they would be if you asked me in February. That's the downside. The reality is, I don't care about April or May. I don't even care about June. I care about 2021. I care about the third quarter, the fourth quarter. And so I don't see any downsides. I think the other negative thing, if you want to give me another negative thing I could mention, is it sucks to have your brother, your cousin, your friend, your sister, your neighbor lose their job. And, it's hard. And it's hard to not be out in the house and be like, I can give you all that stuff. But the reality is the mortgage market, the brokers, all lenders, all mortgage companies are going to bring people out of this. Rates are going to be low. We're going to help people. This $1,200 stimulus check, that's nice. Great job to the government for coming in and helping out. But guess what? I'm going to save you $250 a month on your mortgage, right? We're going to help you buy a house at $400 less a month than you would have bought, or $200 less a month than you would have bought. Like, that's good stuff. That's $200 a month for 30 years, right? And so I feel great about where everything's at. I don't see much downside. I know there's a million people that tell you every problem in the world. I'm not one of those guys. I look at the positive things, and I look at all the things that they call negative as opportunities to go out and dominate, go out and help our partners grow, and go out and help continue to grow our business.
That's great. Listen, it's coming from the man that just gave a pep talk to Mark Labria. That's great. I love that. That's awesome. There's just, there's no question about it. Listen, if you focus on good, if you focus on positive things are going to happen. And yes, there's so much to consume, and do you watch the news? Do you actually pay attention to all the negativity that's around us in the news? Like, I'd love to know, how is it actually, that you are, even the most positive people I know in this world are not 100% positive the way you are all the time.
Yeah, so no, I don't watch the news. I've watched a little bit lately, and I tell all my team members here, don't watch the news, and no disrespect to the news and the media, of course, the world. But the reality is, it's down. It's tough. It's tough to be positive watching that stuff. And so watch this. Feel good about what me and you were talking about. Feel good about the opportunity. And instead of watching the news from a team, call a friend that lost their job, or call a friend that's struggling, and wish them well. Let them know you're here for them. Have a virtual drink with someone, whatever you do these days, right? And so I look at things as opportunity. I don't look at issues. I look at opportunities. And the reality is, if you watch the news all day, and if you're sitting at working from home right now, which the great majority of people are, you know what? It's easy to flip on a TV and hear all the things about coronavirus, and then you hear someone who unfortunately has passed away from this horrible disease that's out there. And there's a lot of negativity. And so I choose to focus on the positive. I choose to focus on the things that we can do, and I look forward instead of backwards, and I look at opportunity. And so that's how I am. Maybe I'm messed up. I probably am messed up in the head, to be honest with you, because I'm different than others. But that's how I've done it, and that's how we've done it at UWM, is think about all the great things and the positive things. And I'm proud to be a part of this industry, and I'm proud to be a positive light in some respects to my team members and my broker partners.
Great. So listen, I want to talk to you about UWM operations. So you guys quickly went from everyone showing up belly to belly in the dopest campus that the mortgage industry has ever seen. Well, I've not personally, been there. Everyone's talked about it. I know you've made the invitation, but everyone I know that's gone there just completely loves it, and it's an inspiring place to just go and hang out. But let's talk about actually, what are maybe some process improvements, if there have been any, within UWM as an organization that have come about, since actually, working from home.
Yeah, so working from home, obviously we have 5,800 team members, and 5,750 of them are working from home right now. I'm here with about 50 people in about 1 million plus square feet. So we have plenty of social distancing here in our office. But the reality is, it's been a different environment. I'm really big on team. We're big on culture. We're big on people and family and all those things. It's lonely here. I'm lonely in this office. You can't see people. You don't get a chance to spend time with people. And so what efficiencies have we picked up? What I've realized is we're really efficient when we're working at home, but it's much more fun to be efficient and be here in the office where I can walk up to an under and ask them, what are you seeing? What does broker say? Give me a perspective, rather than calls and Zooms and all these different ways of doing it. And so it's not the same. We're able to be just as efficient, but it's not as fun. And so fun and efficient is what we need. And we picked up ideas and ways to do things. Can we work from home anytime we want? Of course we could now. But that's not who we are at UWM. We're a family. And when you're a family, at least the families I want to be around, we want to be together and spend time together and work together to get better every day. And so right now it's a temporary, odd situation. But whether it's middle of May, beginning of June, middle of June, July, we're going to be back here together as a family, working hard to deliver great service and turn times and speed and quality to all of our clients.
Yeah, I agree. So yes, but by the way, when we finally reopen back up, I'm coming actually out to your headquarters.
Please, love to have you.
I'm not sure actually. I'm going to challenge you on the hardwoods, but would love to come out there. So has productivity been has productivity been the same, down, increased? I know some people I'm talking to actually, they're saying actually working from home has actually increased productivity. What's productivity been like for UWM employees?
Yeah, so in general, it's been about the same. We haven't seen much downtick. A couple people have a little bit slower internets at home, so you could say that they're a little, but the reality is them not having to drive to and from saves the time. We haven't seen, I'll say, at the right when we happened, I was measuring it very closely, and it was like 96% of our regular efficiency. So an inconsequential difference. It's probably better than that now, because that was like the first week after we worked from home. And so reality, it's not that. What it is when you count on other partners. And so what I was telling our team is, we can get things done in hours, minutes here at UWM. But when you have to rely on whether it's an external partner on something, sometimes they're a little slower. And so everything is a little bit slower than maybe what it was before. Now, when I say slower, it's like we want to get things done in 42 minutes, and it takes 78 minutes, and I'm upset about it. And I'm asking everyone just why, and they said, "Oh, they didn't respond." But the reality is, efficiencies have been great. It's been a non-factor, honestly. The most common question I get from our team members: "Hey, since efficiencies have been so great and we're working so well from home, are we going to work from home going forward?" And I answer it the same way as I'll always answer it, which is absolutely not. I love people here. I'm not going home all day. I need to be here with people, and we have a big campus, and I love being part of it. And I think the synergy and culture of our brokers coming in here, we have trainings where hundreds of people come in every single week. It's awesome, and I can't wait to get back to that.
The success tracks are legendary. I've heard so many great things. I have a friend of mine actually told me how her business changed actually from the success track, where they were thinking about not continuing in the business, and just it was inspired actually by the success track. And by the way, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. So actually, one question, and this is a big question, and I don't know actually that there's anyone that knows the answer, but Daryl asked, when are rates going to improve? And I wonder if you could actually maybe shed some light on, because right now they should be better, but as banks, we're doing some things. So talk to us a little bit about when you see rates possibly getting a little better.
Yeah, so I think, in general, Daryl, I appreciate the question. Rates are really great, right? Like, when was the last time we were offered 3.25 30-year fix, right? So rates are great in the market. But we all know that based on mortgage-backed securities and the Fed buying all the MBS they have, that rates should be even lower, right? And so that's a great thing to know because we expect it to get lower very soon. Now, when will that happen? Job loss has to slow down, okay? Job loss slows down. Forbearance requests have to slow down because when job loss slows down, less people will ask for forbearance, right? And then when those things happen, then the MSR values of which is a big part of the rates that we see and you see every day, will get better because now the people will say, I have more certainty. So certainty and stability in the market will help. Now, what do I think? I think it's less than a month away, but it might be 2 months away. But the reality is every loan that you talk to, it's like, hey, listen, borrowers, any consumer that calls like, I'm going to be able to say, I can save you money today. But the reality is I can save you more money if we wait. Let's get the application going. Let's wait for the opportunity to take advantage of it. And when rates are ready, when rates should be 3.25, when the rate makes sense for you, right now you're at 4 and you want to go to 3.25. When 3.25 works, let's lock it in and close, right? And maybe someone's at 3.75 and they don't want to do a loan until it's at 2.75. Well, we might have to wait a while. But when will it happen? My perspective is this. If we can be patient, and by the way, I'm the least patient person you will ever meet. I'm very competitive and not patient, and I hate being, waiting for the rates to come back to where they should be. But the reality is this. If you can be patient, I'm telling you, there's a 9-month mortgage run that might be the best mortgage run in the history of the mortgage industry.
Wow.
And that's coming. Fourth quarter, first quarter, second quarter. Maybe the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, first quarter, second quarter. It's coming. I'm telling you guys right now, every person in America that has a mortgage, you know what they're going to do? Refinance. People that want to buy houses, they're going to be buying houses and affordability is going to be great. It's coming. So get ready and don't worry about, hey, May's not as good as I want it to be. I wish my rate were lower in May. Like, that's short-term thinking. Of course I want it. I got a paycheck to pay. I want a paycheck this month and everyone wants to make I get it. But just realize it's coming. And compared to your friends and your cousins and your brother and everyone that lost their job, and like they don't have that sunshine that we all see. The sunlight's coming. And it might be here in a week, but it might be a month. It might be 3 months, but it's coming.
So, and this, I hope you're okay with me asking this question. We got Joe asking, when do you think UWM will start rolling back overlays? But you kind of already addressed, but if you want to, for the benefit of Joe.
It's the same thing. No, I appreciate the question, Joe. It's the same thing we kind of talked about. It's like, it's going to happen when job loss slows down. And so there's some overlays that I think will be gone in 30 days. And I think some will be gone in 90 days. And I think there's some products that we've lost, as in the industry has lost, that will be back in 90 days. And so the nice part about this whole thing is this. It came fast. No one expected the pandemic, right? No one predicted it. There's no models out there for this. It's going to get better fast too. And I'm very, very confident that the overlays that you see, people who are not doing cash outs, adding cash out adjustments or eliminating cash out, like that's a 60-day thing. Like that's gone at the end of June. Yeah. At the latest, right? That's gone, right? EARLs and streamlines, some of these restrictions and job loss, doing a VOE the day of closing, like that's not going to go on forever. When job loss stops happening at millions a week, you don't have to do those types of things. DTI overlays, like once we get a little more stable, people are back to work and we know that the restaurant is back open, that they're working at, they're getting tips again and people are back going to restaurants at the normal pace, that stuff all goes away. We're 60 to 90 days on a lot of this stuff. It's going to come back. And so you just got to realize that that's the reality. Know that there's really a lot of sunshine coming and people are so focused on the now, which I get it because that's how you build a business, but you got to realize sunshine's coming soon.
Okay. So listen, and that sunshine's coming soon is great, but what are we doing today? So right now we're going to have a few thousand actually brokers and originators that are going to watch this and they're going to want to know, great, Matt, that's awesome. Now you're very busy actually, focusing on keeping the world's largest wholesale lender, going actually and still continuing to kick butt. What do I do? So what advice would you give an originator that's out there watching this, that they should be doing as part of their daily activity?
So three things to get ready. One is
write this down. Get a pen and write this down. This is actually a moment. So Matt, hold on for a second. You should get a pen right now. Write this down, or a pencil, or open up a tab actually on your browser and create this. And Matt, go.
Okay, three things. One is get ready and get your company to win right now. Training. Okay. Make sure you know your technology. Make sure you're investing. Make sure you're on social media. Do all the things right now because the biggest mortgage history, 9 months in history is coming, and everyone's got to know you're available to help them with their mortgage. And so training, Get the people ready. Like, get your processor ready to do more. Figure out how to use technology like you didn't spend time on before. This doesn't mean do no loans. This means instead of doing 10 loans a month like right now you think you could be doing, do 6 and bet on yourself and invest in technology, learn the technology, spend the time, know the guidelines, and be great at that. So one is get ready with your past clients, get ready with future clients, but train, coach, improve yourself right now. Don't take a month sitting on the couch watching the news. Get better. Second thing, realtors. Realtors are not being talked to by anyone right now. Now is the opportunity to call realtors and get ready, because they are going to be an opportunity. Right now, when rates are 2.75, 3.25, nobody calls the realtors. When rates are 4.5, everyone's like, oh, I need to talk to realtors. Now is the opportunity to build your business long-term. Purchase season is going to come. It's just going to come a little bit late. And realtors would love to hear from someone that can close a loan in 15 or 20 days, because everyone else is saying, oh, there's so many refinance. It's going to take 90 days to do this, 100. Please go dominate. Go get the realtor. So train yourself. Get ready in that respect. Purchase. Realtors, a huge, huge, huge opportunity. I think it's so underestimated how people are not thinking about this right now. And then the third thing is this. Write some loans. And it's okay if you don't lock and close them right now. Get them ready, because the opportunity is going to be there. It's going to come. Take advantage of it. And so don't sit there and say, like, I'm not taking any applications because I think I should be able to offer lower rates. Take the application and tell Mr. and Mrs. Smith, here's where I think we can be. Here's where I'm at right now. You'd be saving $81 a month, but I really believe you're going to be able to save $120 a month very soon based on this. Let me show you why I believe this. Educate them why you believe that they will save more money, because look at mortgage-backed securities. Rates should be here, and they're here. Watch when this comes back down. You could take it. Show them. If they say, let's lock right now and close, great. But now you've educated them and they're sticking with you. They're not going to go, oh, I'm going to go find someone else that has a better rate right now. They're going to say, he's educated me. He offered me a great opportunity right now. He thinks it's going to be better. He's the expert. I believe in him. I'm going to do it. And so write the loans, focus on purchase, and then get ready, train, invest in technology, and be ready, because it's coming. And what's going to happen is going to hit you, sucker punch you in October, where it's all going to be so busy and you didn't train your processor, and she quit or he quit and he's not able to work with you. And all of a sudden you're going to be behind. And, it's an opportunity right now.
That's awesome. I just wrote that down myself. I'm actually so listen. You'll see that scrolling across the bottom. Hopefully, I didn't misspell anything there. But yeah, do that. Follow those 3 things. Be positive. Focus on actually all the things that you can do, the things actually that you have control of, because all those activities are things you can control. You can't control the fact actually that your COVID count for your community is going up, or that so and so is actually going through some illness. Those are things you can't control. There's no reason to focus on that. Focus on those 3 things. Get ready, train, coach, call real estate agents, and take apps. Take apps as oops, I wrote take app. Okay, I'll close that up. This is why I'm not supposed to edit my own work. Man, amazing message. I mean, as always, you said so much actually in such a short amount of time. I hope actually some people actually are taking some notes here. We got a couple of other people actually that wanted to know. Of course, my buddy Shah wants to know how you got a haircut. Good question. We got.
I socially distanced it right with my own hands. I got some help, but it was socially distanced and safe.
Yeah,
I needed one.
A great actually one from Michael said, complete your CE, get it done with it. Don't actually wait till November or December. Do that now. And Shah actually just it seems that we're getting more appraisal waivers than ever. Can you speak to the GSE increased appraisal waiver availability, and if we should expect this to continue? Great question, Shah.
Yeah, it's a great question, Shah. And I think that right now in the pandemic, I think the GSEs, and I'm going to give my perspective, they have a little bit more control on their risk profile, and I think they're really trying to help. And back to your said Mark Calabria, I think he's giving directive to say, let's help people out as much as possible. We know appraisers aren't going in a lot of houses right now, and that's not the best play. So we are seeing a lot more appraisal waivers, which is great for consumers, great for brokers, great for everyone. And so we are seeing more. Do I think that will continue? I do, for a while, but I think it will tighten up by the end of the year when things are more normalized. I think that it's maybe a little bit of a help and an assist from FHFA, Fannie and Freddie. This is my own instinct. I've not got this validated. A little bit of an assist from them, knowing that, hey, appraisers aren't going to houses as much. They came out with some cool things that you can do on appraisals that are a little different. But I think that that's one of the things, one of the plays they're doing to try to keep the mortgage market going in a very positive way.
Fantastic. And my buddy Robert Stevens just said this. I thought it was great. We're in the dating stages. Now is the time to win with your clients. So when it's time to pull the trigger, you're ready. I love that. Fantastic. And from my teammate in Connecticut, hi, Matt from Connecticut. Go green.
Go white, Spartans. I love it.
All right. Fantastic. And Jason, will we ride it on? Be ready. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for joining us, and we really, really appreciate all you're doing for the industry, all you continue to do for all your borrowers, and obviously for the brokers. So thank you for joining us. We really
thanks
appreciate
for having me. Always great to be on, and keep up the great work with what you're doing, and excited to continue to grow with brokers and this whole industry together as a team and as a family. Yeah,
fantastic time to be a broker. All right, Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, I'm Andrew Berman from the Mortgage News Network, National Mortgage Specialist Magazine. Thank you for watching another episode of the Mortgage News Network's Mortgage Leadership Outlook. Tomorrow, super excited. We have Jerry Schiano, Patty Arviello coming up on Thursday. Got another lineup that we're working on for next week. Really, really excited to have you join us. Please share, like, comment. We'd love you actually to just get this out there. Make sure enough people know that we're doing this. We really, really appreciate it. All right, everyone. Have a great day.